I hope you're ready for a wild ride, because today I've got a nice video that is for sure going to make you pucker up, proof that golden zander are a thing, and the biggest crappie to ever be iced on camera. We got that and more coming up right now in Target Walleye's Top 5 presented by Seafoam. Let's dive on in. We're going to kick things off with what has to be the craziest ice-related video I've seen yet.
Bruh.
You will not believe how it ends. If I was there in real life, in person, without a doubt I would have crapped my pants. So you know what?
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Holy crap!
Are you kidding me? Hard pass.
Nope.
Now there's a lot of speculation online about what might have caused all that ruckus, but instead of speculating, let's just hear from somebody who had boots on the ice, and that's Sam Parrish, who said, "This is a small trout lake in Manitoba, Canada with no inflow or outflow. It has an aeration system that was turned on after the lake was already frozen over, as they do every year to make sure that they get good ice. But this year they had some extremely cold nights that caused the lake to gain ice super quickly, so when the aerator was turned on, the air couldn't escape, which caused the ice to lift from pressure. So they went out to relieve the pressure from the aeration system, drilling holes on their way out, checking ice thickness until they made it out to the air pocket, where they popped a relief hole to relieve the pressure, and the rest is history."
Oh, that one puckered up my butthole.
Sam, I mean, good grief, you fellas have way bigger stones than I do. I'm glad no one was hurt and that you can get back to catching trout now. So I've seen a decent number of golden walleyes now over the years, after literally a decade of scouring the internet for walleye content. Essentially, it's some sort of genetic mutation that makes them look so fun to look at. But this is the very first golden zander I have ever come across, and she is stunning. And a quick little reminder that zander are basically like the European cousin to walleye, except for they grow to stupid big dumb sizes and eat big fun baits. And I was also thoroughly impressed that this one was caught on a big Weston fishing swim bait in some sort of a color pattern that basically matches that golden zander. And no, that fish isn't that color because it's dead and decaying. Cedric actually posted a reel on Instagram, and you can see that that fish is alive and well, moving around, flicking its fins, and still beautiful. While we're at it, apparently those big giant European perch can get their gold member on too. Look at that thing. I don't know about you, but me, well,
I love gold!
Last month, the Crappie Chronicles crew accomplished something that is just downright magical. They ended up landing the single biggest crappie to ever be caught through the ice on film. What a way for them to kick off Season 5, Episode 1 of Crappie Chronicles.
Oh my God.
Now, Griff caught that 17.5-incher in Metro, Minnesota. Down south, where there's way more people than fish, but there's some sneaky places where they find some giants. And he was using a 16th-ounce clam Pinhead Pro spoon. I believe it was in the rainbow glow color. And like I said, she was 17.5 inches long. They did not get a weight or girth because they wanted to release her quickly, and the scale was over with their other groups of buddies hole hopping around. But they said that they figured the girth was around 15.5 to 16.5 inches, seeing as she grazed the sides of an 8-inch hole, as you can see. And it was estimated to weigh between 3.5 to 3 3/4 pounds. That would be a nice bass. That would be a big bass. If you caught 5 bass that big, you would win your local tournament. And it was a crappie. A what? Oh, I'm an idiot. Yeah, I don't know. My brain cannot even handle the thought of a crappie that big coming through the ice, and yet these fellas are not satisfied. They're already back out in search of an 18-incher. They want that extra half-inch to hit that next benchmark, which is just wild. I also just want to give big props to these fellas for releasing that fish, keeping those big fish genetics in the system. They're not going to catch an 18-incher if it was killed when it was 17.5 inches, right? And I hope that specific fish, well, Griff, I hope you get to take her on a second date sometime, when she's even more bigger. Talk about an epic surprise catch. A dude in North Dakota was reeling in a 13-inch eater-sized walleye when a muskie grabbed a hold of it and would not let go. They literally had to stop and drill 2 more holes so that they could get that beast topside, and it still refused to let go of that fish stick. Can't blame her though, because it does look like she could have maybe used that extra meal. Now, North Dakota isn't necessarily known for muskie fishing, but maybe it should be. It sounds like there's several lakes that have high populations of them, and that lakes like Audubon and New Johns Lake have fish exceeding that magical 50-inch mark. I'm sure there's more options than that too, but the muskie folks are always a little bit reluctant to talk about them.
Nope.
So they say 2 heads are better than 1 or some junk like that that's just weird even for fish. But I was sent a Facebook post shared by the Rooster Bait Shop out of Rapid City, South Dakota, of a 2-headed pike that was caught this season.
I don't believe you.
A dude named Isaac apparently came into the bait shop and was showing them the picture and said that he pulled that 4-pounder out of a Black Hills lake, and that it actually even had a jig in one of its other mouths from a previous bite-off. Score. Now, I've seen some kind of similar 2-headed fish picks, 2-bodied fish picks even in the past, and all of those have been debunked as either fake, photoshopped,
Busted.
or staged, like where you've got the 2 pike with the 2 bodies, and apparently the second smaller pike was just placed under the gills of the one. I don't know. They've all been debunked and shown as fake, but this bait shop owner said that Isaac came in and actually showed him a video of the fish and all sides of it, and that it is legit.
Because I saw that thing.
I haven't seen it. If you've got a link for it, please send it my way. You just never know, man, but if you zoom in real close on that picture, she looks connected. It looks real.
That's real! That lives with us on her!
Never know. That wraps up this week's Top 5. A big shout out to Seafoam for keeping us running smooth and making this fun video series possible. If you want more walleye and ice fishing related content like this, sign up for our free Target Walleye emails at targetwalleye.com. I'll see you back in 7.